by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Over in the Town. It's done, isn't it? Our current Premier League journey is almost at an end, following a 3-1 defeat at the London Stadium. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it was an emotional day. The reception to and from the players and the staff at the end was exceptional. Can we come back? Do we want to come back? We'll talk in more detail about the game shortly. We'll also look at our favourite moments from the season and look forward to our last home game of the season against Fulham. We have your 3-word reviews and much, much more. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see there's a full house again. It's nice to have everyone back. Firstly, Bottaro, thanks for coming.
Hello.
At last. Right. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, top man. Take the mic. Yeah.
And Steve and Darren, nice to have you back as well.
Thank you.
Can I start with somewhat disappointed?
Yeah.
At the weekend. I know maybe it's not what, it's just what we expected really, but you had that moment, you're winning and you're thinking, can we do this?
It was a lovely early start, and again, throughout our lives, they've given us the hope, given us the belief, and then, snatched it away
Always.
again.
Yep.
Sort of a whole bittersweet thing.
I think that's the only thing that hurts, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a good start, but again, I think we just come up short, to be honest with you, against a better team, and invariably that has been the story too often, which is why we've got the amount of points we've got.
Darren, it wasn't Saturday though that has caused all this grief, has it? In that game when the obvious one.
The obvious one at Bournemouth.
Away.
I think we'd sort of plateaued a little bit even before that, but just when you think there was a little bit of a resurgence and we were coming back and we were conquering around the stand at half time. And I think, Dave, you even said to me, even Luton can't mess this up from here.
Dave's got a habit of that, haven't you, Dave? Open your mouth too soon.
But I think from that point on, I think as fans, maybe even the players started going, actually, we're not at this level yet.
No. I mean, at half time, I said, I will take a point.
Yeah.
So we all know what Luton do, though. They give us a hard time. There's no easy run, even when you're 3-0. I mean, Christ, we've done it with Cambridge donkeys years ago. We were 3-0 up and that under Pleaty. So, yeah. So we're riddled with sort of history like that. But there's no free rides with Luton.
I just want to talk about pre-match, Bottaro. We found this nice little brewery, little pub, didn't we? It was lovely, wasn't it? Quite special. And Tommy Lockyer it was in the pub.
It was definitely him, wasn't it? Yeah.
It definitely him. If it wasn't him, it was a really good lookalike.
Yeah. No, it was, mate, like I said, lovely little pub. I think it was like a little microbrewery sort of place.
It was a brewery, a microbrewery.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I think we were looking at sort of like 7% lagers and IPAs and whatever.
I felt like I was on holiday. I was looking forward to that. I just thought this is the best holiday I've ever had.
Just slightly better than your average Wetherspoons then, yeah?
Oh, and more. And slightly more expensive, Steve.
The tables and chairs weren't as good, but
yeah, not as easy to throw.
Yeah, you couldn't, because I think they were bolted into the floor, to be fair. So.
London Stadium, what was your thoughts, Bottaro?
Do you know what? I know obviously Dwayne's going to be listening to this going, I'm giving it all that. Yes, Dwayne, I'm giving it one of those ones to you. But I thought it was a lovely stadium. Obviously, it's not a football stadium.
No.
First and foremost, it's not. We get that. But just looking at it, I thought, this is mental. Like, it looked massive, didn't it? I mean, how big is the stadium? Is it 60-something thousand?
Yeah, not that many. Yeah. And the walk from the entrance to the bottom tier was massive.
Yes.
Were you in the bottom tier?
Yes, we were.
What was the view like? Because it looks really...
No, the view was...
It looks really flat, doesn't it? The seating.
The view was really good. I think the guys up the back would have been miles away from the pitch. Mm-hmm. And
that's the only thing I would say is obviously... I think it's a temporary stand, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. Because so it moves for the running track.
Yeah. But like, the only thing about the experience for the stadium is getting into the stadium was an absolute joke, wasn't it?
Oh, that's
2 security checks, 45 minutes to get in.
I do want to talk about...
joke.
I know you guys might not have experienced it, but you get searched on the way in to start with. They ask you to see your ticket and they search. And they did ask, Dwayne, if you're listening, I'm not going to say too much, but he was asked whether his son could be searched. He said no, because he's underage. Mm-hmm. And he went, then you're not coming in.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
Which is wrong, isn't it?
Because they can't do that, can they?
Well, that's what they did. And then you got searched there, and then you got searched on the entrance as well. So you got searched a couple of times before you got in. In the end, me and a few others who were desperate to get in with 10 minutes to kick off or 5 minutes to kick off, we pushed through.
Jesus.
Well, we were late. You want me to for kick-off in the end?
Yeah.
I think it was 3 minutes past three that we got into the actual
But we
seats or
actually
whatever.
pushed through it because it was ridiculous. I'd already been searched once. Why are they searching me again? Ridiculous.
We had something similar. I think it was Liverpool got searched just as you start, sort of getting into the, towards the ground.
I have to tell you, when we went to Anfield, I opened up my arms, as you do, and the bloke just looked at me and went, "It's all right, mate, come through." Yeah. Come on, do I look that old? Let's just move on to your 3-word reviews. We'll get through the game as best we can. The 3-word reviews this week for West Ham's 3, Luton Town 1. Philip says the best team won. Rowe, gutted but proud. Mike, not quite enough. Peter, feeling very deflated. Gary, the inevitable happened. Heather, bye-bye VAR. Lee, rebuild starts now. Andy, it's been fun. George, learn and return. And Greg says, we'll be back. You can take one each, guys.
Well, firstly, why is everyone getting so deflated about it? We're still up.
We're
not actually relegated yet.
Mathematically.
Exactly. There's always a chance.
It must be that seat. I was a bit chirpy in that seat last week, weren't I?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a gas leak behind me. That's what it is.
I'll go with Philip. Best team won. They did. The first half, like we said, it was a great start. I don't know whether you guys said, bit early.
Yeah, I did.
Scored a bit
absolutely.
early. But we've done that a few times as well, haven't we? But I feel in the first half, they had some really good chances. But you kind of go in at half time going, okay, fine. But you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But we thought we may know what was coming. At the end of the day, were they going to play for Moyes or not? And clearly, he's either gone, look, come on, guys, you owe me this.
Or you owe the fans this.
You owe the fans this, and Bowen, Kuda stepped up, Bowen stepped up, Ward-Prowse stepped up, because they didn't do much first half. Second half, they just came alive and we couldn't live with it, could we?
Yeah.
I think West Ham were on a poor run as well before that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which is quite annoying
they
because
turn up against us,
that's the point. It's quite annoying. They've had 2 really bad results on the bounce. I mean, they conceded 10, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it was inevitable. They were there to celebrate Moyes. It was inevitable. And as much as we took the lead, and I actually thought it was a cracking goal, Steve.
Yeah, no, it was. Elijah sort of cut inside and had a shot that got blocked. Another lovely cross from Doughty. But something that really stood out, from that second phase, no one else was moving. Like Colton Morris had sort of just checked back to make sure he wasn't offside. There was someone else, it might have been Chong. No one was moving a muscle. And Lukonga just casually strolled in, and unmarked and shouldered it in. I mean, the arrogance of the man to think, I'm not heading this, I'm going to give it a cheeky shoulder. But it just shows you what a devastating late run into the box can do for you. No one picked him up at all. We saw it, I know it's a much lower level, but we saw that a lot with Cameron McGee. And, he was great at that. And it's something that I haven't seen us do for quite a while. And it wasn't until I saw that goal, I thought, crikey, that's something we haven't seen for a while.
Bottaro just described it as a stroll in at the beginning there. It was a decent run from Lukonga, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a beautiful run.
He never looks if he's exerting himself, though, does he? When he's running Lukonga, he's just
like you say, what a
in.
finish, though. What a finish on that shoulder. Beautiful. But it was just, the ball for me was first class anyway. I mean, you put it in that area, it's loops over, I think, was it the first defender or whatever, into that area. And if someone didn't attack that, I'd be very, very annoyed. Because it was just begging to be attacked when they say. But
Darren, we look at a different team with Eli in it, don't we? Yeah,
we do. And he's only been back a little bit, and we spoke about him last week, but he's made a massive, massive difference. And let's just hope we've still got him next season.
Wow.
Well,
on the 3-word reviews, I've gone with Lee. Rebuild starts now.
Oh, mate, you just stole mine as well.
Sorry, mate. I'd probably be more articulate about it anyway.
Oh, go on.
Well, you say that, Steve. You just know Gary's sweet and that their rebuild would have started ages ago.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But over the weekend, Robbie Edwards said, I think he's now got an opportunity to really play the way he wants to. We've seen the team evolve throughout the season, and he said, even when we sort of went up from the Championship, he said, this is not how I want to play.
Yeah.
However, the team was so well coached and well drilled and so capable of doing it. You know, he was man enough to say, no, let's go with it. But now he's got a real opportunity because there is going to be a healthy turnover in the playing side. You know, some that we don't want to keep, but some, unfortunately, that we're not going to be able to keep. It's really exciting almost to see what he really wants to do.
There'll be a couple of natural ending of careers at Luton Town. For certain, you're going to see a couple of likeable characters leave, I would imagine. But there's still life in some of them. So he knows what he's doing, Darren. I think you're totally right. I'm going to say to Bottaro first, and then maybe Darren can kick in on this one as well to start with. I think the game really changed when we lost Barkley. Or Darren, you can go first.
I was just trying to it was a hot day on a few beers.
I mean, you can come to me because you know I put that in our group chat.
He had already been booked as well, though, hadn't he?
To be fair, he wasn't having a great game. Barkley wasn't. He got caught on the edge of the box a couple of times.
That's why I was a bit like...
But I just think psychologically, for the players on that pitch, when a Barkley goes off, you drop levels. Look, we love Clark, but Clark isn't Barkley.
Of course.
You know, and I think you just go, oh, well, there's our guy. He's going off. Possibly isn't going to be playing at the weekend as well, which would be such a shame because we
probably his last game.
Can say there is the high potential that's the last time we've seen him, and that is a real shame because I think it's been a privilege to watch him this season. He's really such a different player,
and I do think there was a shift in that game. I really do. I think it had that bigger an importance in that game.
I think on the terraces we all just went, oh, we don't need that.
It's just the class he possesses, though. Really. That's what it is, really. And when you need like a bit of spark in midfield and whatever else, I'm not saying that other players can't do it. Of course they can, but
it's in different ways, isn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah, it's consistent, isn't it, with him?
But there's been so many times this season where we got that 1-0 just before half time, or at the beginning of the game we've got to half time. Think of Liverpool, think of some other places as well, and you're thinking, can we just hold on? Can we just hold on for just a little bit longer? And as usual, the answer was no.
I think just I think just the increase in quality is something that defensively we've struggled to cope with. We lost Lockyer. Mads Anton's been out. Mengi is a very raw player. And he is a natural leader, and for a large part of the season he has led that defensive. But when you look at the Championship and it was built on solid defensive start, and we thought we're not going to score goals, but he did tweak it, and then the goals did come. But unfortunately, it was just the defensive side as a team. We just couldn't keep it out.
I'll be honest, I still put it down to people said, "Oh, what do you think it's down to?" Blah blah. I still put it down to the fact that we had 13 players out injured for at least 8 games, or whatever it was, 7 games, 8 games. I still believe, obviously, regardless of the Bournemouth game, the Liverpool game at home, or whatever else. Obviously, we dropped points late on and whatever else. I still believe if we had had a fit back 3/4-5 or whatever you want to call it, we'd be fine by now. I really believe that as well. I think injuries have done us in.
I agree, and I think you're right as well, Steve. Having an older head in that defence, Mengi's been great.
Yeah,
but I can't think how Otashow's still young. Burke isn't old, is he?
He's about 27, 28.
Yeah,
Burke,
but we've forgotten Amari Bell. That's another big loss, isn't it?
But you go back to having a Lockyer there, who, let's be realistic, ability-wise, maybe not to the level of some of those lads that we talked about, but his experience, his leadership.
Yeah.
You go even coming up through the leagues as Sonny Bradley. Yeah. You go back, one of my favourite defenders for Luton ever was Steve Davis.
Yeah.
If we had an older head senior figure in that defence to get those lads, because it was changing week on week. Yeah. If we had a senior player there to get them through it, we might have tightened up a little bit. Yeah. I think individually you look at that back four, maybe five, because Kabore did do better at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Individually, you could go, yeah, you're a Premiership player. Collectively, not quite a Premiership defence.
And what Bottaro's saying, equally right, Nakamba.
Yeah.
The amount that he would have stopped getting to the defenders as well. So, I mean, it did cripple us for a good couple of months. And, I think it is too much to expect everyone to be fit and available every game. The world doesn't work that way. I know that. But, I think everyone associated with Luton would say if our first 15 players were fit and available, we wouldn't really be in a problem. Because Elijah was absolutely on fire. That was a real just stopped us in our tracks.
Last week, I think there was a stat that came out, wasn't it? He said like 13 or 14 shots on target this season. He scored 10 of them.
And that's the worrying thing, really, because I expect someone's coming in for him.
Yeah,
but definitely. And I have to say, at the end of the game, I generally looked like he was looking like he was saying.
Was he crying as well?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I don't know that, but I would say. It felt to me like he was like waving, like I've got one more to go. Like that, I've got one more to go.
If that is the case, though, Dave, let's just hope and pray that we get a full, proper Premiership price for him.
I'm going to hope and pray he doesn't go. But if he does go, I hope he goes to a really decent team.
25 million plus.
And I hope he goes to a decent team.
I'm thinking at least 25, because he's proved that he can do it, and he's been... so efficient, what you just said. There's shots and goals. He's been so efficient with how he's played.
Well.
But don't forget also, we've got a little prodigy coming through, haven't we, with Joe Taylor?
I'm really excited to see him back in the squad.
And McAtee.
And McAtee as well, yeah. So, just getting back to the London Stadium because we have to. And I'd had a few beers before the game, just so you know. Shocker. It was the last away game. It was summer.
The heat. You get a bit. Sorry, you got a bit of heat stroke as well. I'm pretty sure at some point.
I think the disappointing thing is that Ward-Prowse scores. He was sort of almost alone on the edge of the box when he hit it. Kaminsky can't get anywhere near it. And then what was it? 8 minutes later, 9 minutes later, they score again.
That's what killed us, I believe.
Yeah, and that's the one that done us in, because at that point, if we could have held on just for a little bit longer, the dream of that point, Bottaro's there, isn't it?
Yeah, but look, the thing is, right. I know you boys are a little bit, I don't know, are you deflated about the whole situation? I'm not really, if I'm honest. I'm more excited for next season, how we can go on and push further, but I just feel like, I was saying it wrong, it was disappointing, gutting, whatever you want to call it. The fact that, we go 1-0 within 3-4 minutes, whatever it was, and you think, there's still a hope, there's still a chance. Always the same thing, every single time. But as soon as it went 2-1, I thought, probably game over for us, fine. But I'm so excited. All I can think about was all the positives and all the future sort of aspects. And whatever else.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look at the amount of points that we've got, you have to say that tells you. And as a squad, we're not up to that standard, and it's absolutely fine. I think we've all accepted the limitations that we imposed upon ourselves with the money that we spent.
But we have got, Steve, I have to disagree with just slightly, because we have got a squad that could compete if they were fit, and that's the thing. We weren't the worst. I wrote this down earlier. The Sun bloody newspaper wrote an article and said the 3 worst teams ever promoted this season. We are one of the 3 worst teams, and I pointed out that Derby got 11 points, Sunderland got 15 points, Huddersfield got 16 points, Sunderland then come back and got another 19 points.
I think
the boys down the road got 23.
I think the point they're probably trying to make there is that they would have been the only team in the league that season to be poor.
The fact that it was the 3 that went up.
No, because it's not every season that 3 go up, 3 go down. I get that. But 3 go up, 2 go down. Last season, 3 went up and 3 stayed up. But one of them cheated big time to do that. They literally benefited. And, I've got some Nottingham Forest friends, and I would, good luck to them, but they literally...
No luck to them.
No, not at all. Look, they challenged the rules, they broke the rules, they benefited from breaking the rules. Who's laughing?
And can I say, actually, we harped on about it, so I don't want to go on about it too much, but actually, these extra 2 points they got off for good behaviour is what's kept them up, not taking it to the last game of the season. And they didn't have good behaviour.
No.
So these 2 points, at the end of the day, they should be 1 point ahead of us.
We sound a bit better, don't we?
We do.
We sound a little bit better.
Darren's got a point, though. It's so true. Like, it frustrates the shit out of me. Excuse my language.
I want to talk about Kaminsky.
Dave, sorry, can I just say they've done pretty much exactly the same as Everton. Everton have got, what was it, 8 points or whatever with Capital taken off or whatever. So where's the difference? Where's the justice in that? They should get the same amount of points.
I love the way that Everton decided to reject their appeal.
Good on them, mate.
Yeah.
Fair play. Respect.
Come on, look. That just sounds like we're being totally bitter, and we probably are. I just want to mention Kaminsky again. Outstanding keeper all season. He made some world-class saves again on Saturday.
Unreal player, isn't he?
I think,
Best keeper I've ever seen.
Ooh.
Wow.
What, for Luton? Or
Well, for Luton, probably. Do you know what? I'm going to throw it out there as well. I keep saying it. I'm only my second beer tonight. But I genuinely think he's one of the best keepers in the league.
Most saves in the Premier League this season.
Yeah,
I know he's had a lot. He's had a lot to do.
I was gonna say, yeah,
But he's got to save them.
He's unreal. I mean, you can look at. I'd say it every week. Look at Onana, who cost him £73 million for Man United.
well,
He's nowhere
dreadful.
near. He's nowhere near Kaminsky's level for me. And so you
He
look at
was
the price tag,
laughable.
2.5 to 73, and just,
Onana against Arsenal was
Shy.
laughable, and he was
Shy, mate.
showboating a little bit some of the saves.
Do you see Kaminsky being a player that other Premier League clubs would want to get hold of? No, and I don't know
Why
why,
not?
but I don't either, Bottaro.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know, because I think he has made some great saves, and he's been absolutely brilliant. And you've seen the improvement throughout the season. Early on in the season, there was quite a lot of sort of patting it back out into the danger zone, and that. I know there was the one West Ham on Saturday, but I don't know. I just feel that he's probably one of our safest players for us to be retaining for next season.
And I think he will stay. And you look at his reputation before he joined us, for instance, at Blackburn, the fans didn't like him. So you get into our club, and our club has that thing of how to develop a player, Darren.
Yes.
See, I just chugged like,
You
yes.
looked at that one and just grab it in the headlights. No, we
Discuss.
No, okay.
No.
You've seen us develop many players.
We've had a great academy. We still got a great academy, and it's been a while since they've come through. I actually think Nathan Jones, going back a little bit, didn't promote the youngsters through. He always said he did, but he didn't. But
he gave
said a lot of things,
gave him
haven't
the
he?
occasional game.
he gave him an occasion.
Yeah, and he was almost forced into the James Justin.
He was,
wasn't he?
But no, we do. We're a great club to improve players, and there is a bit in football nowadays where it is a business, and you get a player in, you improve them, you sell them on, make more money, and if we've got to do that, we've got to do that. But players will want to come to us for that reason.
I hope so,
I think-
and I'm really excited to see what the squad's going to look like next season.
I think the saddest thing is that had we stayed up, we'd have had more opportunities. And
Yeah.
I listen, I know technically we haven't been relegated yet, but we have, unless we win by an outstanding amount.
You imagine.
No.
Just imagine we win like
You can't-
6-0 and Forest lose 6-0 or 7-0.
It's
whatever.
like saying mathematically that's your first point. Because it's the same glass.
No. Technically, it is because if you think about it, I've only had half of this.
And then you top
it
it
wasn't
up.
it wasn't a full point
Yeah.
on the last one. So
Yeah, just
Yeah.
rein it-
give or
boys,
take.
boys.
Sorry, anyway.
Let's get a little bit real here. If those results whop around, I'll have a bloody tattoo myself. I'll tell you that. It's not happening. We didn't even talk about West Ham's third goal, but he did knock it in, and it absolutely knocked this, in near post. Bit of inactivity from a couple of defenders, would you say, Darren?
Yeah, they. I think they were very much like us. They'd given up at that stage, and not for the cause or whatever. I just think they knew that it was done. It was a roasting hot day. Look, I couldn't believe Osho was wearing Under Armour. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It was so
mental.
hot. But yeah, I think collectively they were done, and that third goal summed it up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps he just suffers from the cold. He's just it's not bad. It gets to the final whistle. You're done. You're praying that we might get a chance. We really didn't show much second half, sadly. And then the game's finished, and on some of the official shots, you'll see me there, and I look gutted. And I really was, but I found
Could never see you though, Dave. We kept like looking for you. He was like, kept
standing next to-
disappearing underneath the banner or whatever.
I'm 6'1", mate. I can stand over the top of Piper's banner. John Piper, put that banner out, and fair play to him. And it just reflected what we are. We're all proud of the team, aren't we?
Yep.
But I found that last bit. You talked last week about how you felt when we won the championship playoff and how emotional you was. I was just as emotional on Saturday, thinking, well, that's that.
Yeah, there was a feeling of that's it, we're done, and it was a little bit hard to take for a little while.
Can I say the video that the club put out?
Wasn't it brilliant?
Yeah.
I think I said to you, I've just got something in my eye.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I watched it again today,
Yeah.
and I still had something in my eye.
What I loved about it, filmed really, really well. I suspect it was Toby who filmed, but it was well put together. You could see the emotion from the fans. Do you know the little guy that got? I think he got Adebayo's shirt. He was on someone's shoulder,
Right.
and someone gave him the shirts. What a great touch from all the players to do that.
Yeah.
Rob Edwards.
I mean, it'd be a bit sweaty though, wouldn't they?
Doesn't matter, does it? He's made those players have made those. You know, those kids were upset we're getting relegated.
Well, no, the one that I saw on the shoulders was a young blonde lad.
Yeah, that's him.
And he had, so Berry gave him his
Luke
shirt.
Berry.
And I was like, Berry's looked at him and gone, there's a young me there. and you never know, do you? That who knows?
Exactly.
But like you said, Dave, what a wonderful moment.
But on that video as well, right at the very end, when the players turn and start to go, there is an awful lot of West Ham fans still there, and they were all clapping roundly. You know, either the Luton support or the players. So, bit of respect there.
Apart from a bunch of the bell ends in the corner, was still giving it a big and trying to fight people. But there was a few of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah, but that's West Ham, isn't it? Of course, of course it is. Yeah.
I liked Rob Edwards' reaction and his post-match as well. He's part of our club. He's going to be part of our club for a while, isn't he? He's not going to go anywhere.
I hope so.
As long as he wants.
Yeah, I think so, because I think,
20-year contract.
as I said earlier, I think now he can really do what he wants to do with the team. I think he's been brilliant up to now, but now let's see what the new stuff's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a big task to beat. Well, maybe not such a big task to beat Watford twice next season. That'll be the good start. Dream start to the season, won't it? I just want to say we've got some facts from Opta here. Dave Moyes, unbeaten in 9 matches against the Hatters as a manager, and I think and Luton Town have lost 5 Premier League games despite leading at half-time this season, the most ever by a single team in a team in a single campaign, which is quite sad, really. We scored in 24 of the last 25 matches in the Premier League.
That's sensational.
It's an incredible stat.
Yeah.
Incredible stat. And go for it.
Yeah, score against Fulham, and we scored against every team.
Exactly that, yeah.
Garth Crooks.
You don't get
we haven't got the firepower.
Yeah, and don't break his heart. Oh, no, that's Garth Brooks. Sorry. Thank you very much. Lokonga scored his first Premier goal on his 50th appearance and become the 11th player to net the debut goal on that milestone appearance. I don't know where we got that information from. And here's a good fact for you. It's come from Hatters Heritage. It says if Kaminsky plays the entire match against Fulham, he will become the first player to appear in every minute of league season since Mark Tyler did.
Wow.
In 2013-14. That's an amazing thing.
That is amazing. But there's still a little part of me that would love to see James Shea just get 10 minutes. Because he's
right back.
He's well, there you go. There's the solution. You know, because there's a couple of players on there, James Shea and Dan Potts. You know, that have been real big parts of us getting there and haven't managed to get on the pitch.
Well, if they do get on the pitch, they get a Premier League ball as well.
Yeah, and you kind of think, do you know how nice? That's fitting of our club to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will.
No, I see. Very quickly, one of the downsides that I see from the relegation, I can't see that there was any chance of us signing Lokonga, and that's a real shame. I think if we'd have stayed up, would have had a really good chance of signing him, but... You know,
he might be such a good man that he goes, you know, I'm going to take a massive pay cut. I don't care about money.
He would have to, yeah.
You never know.
Agents. That's all you got to think about. Agents will be people like Eli's agent will be putting him out there thinking he's been really good this season. And if he goes, you know. But
one of the lads at work today is Chelsea and a Stevenage fan and any other
hang
team.
on, how can you be that?
Well, because he's one of those 2 club W's. He said Chelsea spent 74 million to agents. I think it was either this season or last season. 74 million
sounds about right,
just to agents.
Yeah, it's a joke.
But there's the point, Steve.
I don't think that's the worst one, is it?
Probably not.
No.
We did touch on this the other week, and I did say, why are we paying agents' fees? Why aren't the bloody players paying the agents' fees? Makes more sense. You were going to say something a second ago, or you just forgotten?
No, I was going to say about the video. Oh, he's putting it on me tonight, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say about that video again, and thinking of players that are out of contract. I know Osho's out of contract. There's big talk of him going elsewhere, and I think he probably could still play in the Premier League. I think he was in tears at the end. Whether that's tears because that's his time with us.
Yeah.
Gone.
Well, there's one more game though. Come on, there's one more game.
No, true. But it was the realisation that maybe again, if we stayed up, he was going to stay up with us. But again, that's our club. That's how passionate the players are about our club.
I think that's the problem, is that we're all so passionate about the club. We forget that it's a career to them. And, you want them to stay, but sometimes they move on.
This is the most beautiful thing about it, right, is obviously after Saturday, obviously, the players being in tears, the emotions they were showing and whatever else, obviously, like we're saying, expressing now, but you compare it, right, in comparison to Birmingham last week when they got relegated. Their players could not give a single shit. They just walked off the pitch, no emotion, couldn't care less. That's the difference between our club and other clubs.
Yeah.
See it all the time.
Well, we know we've got a special club. We do know we've got a special club. While we're here, we'll do a full season review, obviously at the end of the season when we'll get together and we'll chat through maybe our highlights, our big highlights of the season and stuff like that, and what we're going to expect next season. We might even get you guys involved as well if you're listening and watching. But if you had to think about, you had to pick a moment for your season, if you had to pick something out, what would you pick?
Who are you asking?
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with you, Steve, because you genuinely want to talk first.
Mine again, isn't he?
It is the Chong goal at home to Liverpool. There is nothing better than a good counter-attacking goal, and that was right up there. That was from inside our own penalty area. Ross Barkley sort of weaved in and out of two players, tried to sort of get away from them. You could see the chase impact catching on him. Outstep of the boot up to Kabore, and all the time Chong's going, I'm open, and beautiful pass in. Thankfully, Alisson just decided, I can't be bothered, I'm just going to stay where I am. And he slid in, put it away. It was a magic moment, and you can't beat a good counter-attacking goal.
Bottaro, what are you thinking?
Do you know what? Obviously, I was struggling before. I was thinking, I can't think of any moments that really stood out.
That's because you're always drunk.
Grunk, you say? Grunk?
No, duh.
Oh, was it grunk then? I was like, I think you might be, sir.
Keep focused, lads. Come on.
No, but what I'm going to say is, do you know what? Because the most emotion I felt and the most pride I've ever felt was Saturday after that game when the players come over. So I'm going to have to go with that moment.
That's fair play.
Made me want to cry a little bit, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say my eyes didn't leak at that point, but I was just gutted. Yeah, I think that's quite a special moment to have been at.
Beautiful moment. It doesn't have to be a goal for me or anything like that.
No.
Just think in
And do you know what though?
The fact that they were there for 10, 15 minutes or whatever.
They just stood there and watched us and clapped us, and they were taking it in, which was fantastic. But I don't, like we said earlier, it's not the end. It's just the beginning of our regeneration of our club. Our club is getting to a point now where the Premier League money will help us, but we're in a really, really good position. And I expect the club expected, if we go down, we know we're going to go down. Well, no, don't say if we go down, we know we're going to be contenders. We're not going to be bottom of the league, are we, next season? With fingers crossed, he says. Anyway, Darren, I didn't get to your private, your moment of the season.
It doesn't seem like it was this season. It seems a lot longer ago because I don't know whether this season's gone quick or not.
Yeah,
but
massively
I think
quick,
the thing that we were all so excited about, and we probably watched the videos and everything over the closed season. We were all excited to get in the ground and see the new stand.
Yeah.
We needed to do it to be in the Premier League. This is us in the Premier League, and all the gantries, the VAR, and everything else. So maybe not a particular game for me, but just seeing how we announced ourselves to the Premier League.
Yeah. That's a good shout. And a special well done to Dickie Bird as well, of turning that pitch around in no time at all. Because the Gillingham West Ham games, you could see just a bit patchy, but come the next one, nothing. You couldn't see it.
Spot on there.
And also, all the lights weren't in at those games either. So, the first time you went in, it was bright.
Yeah.
But when they fixed the extra lights in on the Oak Road Stadium,
because there was holes in the roof, weren't there? Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God, I've never seen. How do we even play with those old floodlights? That's what you've got to ask yourself. How did we even game?
It's like us with this new lighting though, Dave.
Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Giving that trick away.
Makes it look worse, though, doesn't it?
I've written down a couple, but I'm going to choose two. The first time we won in the Premier League. Oh, me on TNT Sports on the pitch.
Oh, so it's about you, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, no. I was going to say, I was pitch side. That was the moment for me. But
I preferred Steve on
Football Focus,
if I'm honest.
Yeah. Alex Scott said, "Thank you, Steve."
Yeah, but I would say that no one watches Football Focus, Steve, so it doesn't matter, does it? Everton away, that 2-1 win was brilliant, and the cup win as well. In fact, not losing to Everton made me feel happy.
Yeah.
And genuinely realising when we walked out and you heard the Premier League anthem, you've heard it on the Match of the Day quite a lot, and we'd made it.
So a lot of people said it, didn't they?
Yeah,
I didn't really get that, to be fair. I didn't really.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it?
But yeah.
And if you played FIFA football, you'd know it. And if you watched Premier League every week, you'd know it. Up until we got in the Premier League, though, I wasn't watching Premier League football. I couldn't care.
I still don't watch it, to be fair. I still watch the non-league at 5:30 or whatever. So yeah.
Guys, we asked you, and don't forget, we are going to do a season review. So if you've got things to write to us and let us know, contact us via our social media, and producer Jacob will give us some bits for you. We asked you what was your moment this season, and Andy says the whole season has to be a highlight, highs and lows throughout, but the effort shown from the squad, the management team, and even us supporters has been fantastic. Surely we've exceeded expectations and proved many critics wrong. Simon says, it's weird that so many good things have come out of a relegation season, but for me, the players going for it all season, the worst we've had is a couple of 4-goal defeats. Yeah. No outright thrashings like Sheffield United had. We can hold our heads up high. Dwayne says, Everton away, banishing the hoodoo that had been in place since last season in the top flight. Being able to share that moment with my boy meant everything. Richard says, has to be the ovation after the 3-0 defeat at Chelsea. The fans promising the players that were with them all season no matter what, and we have been. You could see the effect on players like Ross Barkley too. It was a rallying call, like Sunderland when NJ left. It was beautiful. Barney says the 2-1 win over Palace, our first Premier League win at Kenilworth Road. Watching that with my dad after all the years we've been going together was really a special moment. And finally, Jay said Everton away for that first win, or Newcastle at home for our first home game after Lockie's incident, was a very emotional game.
Good shout, all of them.
Yeah, good shout, Barney. And it's sharing it with your siblings, your parents, your kids and everything, and it's just been, it has been fantastic. Yeah.
It's not over yet. We've got one more game, Fulham. I hope we end up, giving a good performance. Fulham let's be fair, Fulham are no mugs, although, they won't want to lose. And let's not use this phrase on the beach again, because it clearly hasn't helped us. Can we beat Fulham?
Of course we can.
Yes.
Well, there you go. That was a nice season review.
I think all of our players will really want to sign off on a high note.
I think it will, to be fair, as well.
For themselves as well as everyone else. I think they will really want to have a win.
Do you know what? Sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry,
but if we play so well and it gets to 5, you'll be straight on the phone going, come on, Burnley, what are you doing?
You could have that little hope, but then you're relying on Burnley.
Well, that's what, it's not happening, is it? It's not happening. Listen, we did
never know.
We've already discussed this. It wasn't this weekend that's cost us. It's not that. It's all the others. We'll talk about that another time. Before we go, I just want to mention Viv Busby. Some of you old people would know Viv Busby. I've sadly passed away, and I have a memory of Viv Busby playing for us, and it's quite sad when players leave us like that.
Yeah, it is, because they're part of our DNA. Everyone is part of where we're going to and where we've been. So yeah, a good servant. Just gutting this, but that's life, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that Rob Edwards stated that he'd be welcome any interest in his players when the summer transfer window's opened up for business in June the 4th.
That shows that he's looking to really stamp his authority on the team and the style.
And before we finish, a couple of things to say also. I mentioned to a friend of the podcast, Mark Crowther, he's finished his cycling challenge.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen his video that the club put out regarding the reasons he's doing stuff, please go watch it. And if you haven't sponsored Mark this season or last season when he was doing his cycling, please go and just drop him a sponsorship, because that man has done loads for prostate cancer, mental health, was it the Heart Foundation?
Mind.
And Mind. And he deserves a bit more backing. So if you haven't sponsored him and you're thinking I might, please just go on and give him some quid. Mark,
he's a top guy as well.
Yeah,
really
guy.
nice guy.
Yeah, and he deserves the recognition he's had. He was on Sky Sports News as well on Monday. Monday morning. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I think we're done, lads. I think we're there for next week. I know you're going to be in America. We'll try and link up with you if we can.
Yeah.
If we can't, that'll be because you're in America. And then
Zoom.
Yeah.
Or Teams or whatever we use these days.
Yeah.
Good do.
We're aware.
What time in the morning would that be?
I have no idea.
Also, I'd just like to mention
Make sure it's inconvenient for him as well.
on the way out of the London Stadium and on the train, I had a good old chat with Richard and Aidan about the football and the match. Thanks for listening, and everybody's opinion is worth having to listen to. So if you do see us out and about, please come up and say hello. That's about it for tonight. We will see you after the Fulham game, and then we'll do one extra after that for the season review. So we'll talk more about that in the future. If you're watching on YouTube as usual, please subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave us as many comments as you want. And to everybody else, thank you for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.